Peace and power, y'all. This is your brother Baba. Amin Woke with a quick morning bill. Um, I'm going to talk brief. It's not going to be a long video today. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be a long video today. Just wanted to briefly talk about uh, black male psychology, black male mental health. I'm going to touch a little bit on the Jah Morant situation, but maybe not from the perspective that you all might expect, and definitely not from the perspective of what I've been seeing in the news, in the media. Everyone is focusing on his money. Everyone's kind of focusing on him risking his contract, risking his career. You know what I'm saying? And that's fine, but then some of the describing words that I'm hearing, calling him dumb, he's stupid, he needs to be out the league. He needs to be, he want to be a gangster. Let him go down there and be a gangster. You know what I'm saying? And all that, and it's almost like the dehumanization and the criminalization begins first, right? And as black men, when it comes to black men, when it comes to black people, right, it's real easy to throw us away based on our behavior. It's real easy that when we exhibit some sort of behavior that's negative or counter or doesn't make sense, it's so easy to throw us away, to discount us. You crazy, you're stupid, you're dumb, and throw us into the trash. You know what I'm saying? And I want to say, as someone who's been working with young people for 30 years, that is deeper than that, right? And that what we have to do as a community is to begin to face and continue to face the factors that create the type of mentalities that we're talking about, right? And when I look at Jah, I see survivor's guilt. Right. I see someone who wasn't really raised in the streets like that, from my understanding, but someone who probably through friendships there, who has empathy for the people around him, who has a sense of loyalty to a fault to the people around him, and who may be experiencing some survivors guilt. And these may be people that have been like resources for him mentally and emotionally. They may not represent financial resources for him, but they may represent emotional or mental resources. The name Jah, Jah means God. Jah is a name of that's given to the Creator. If you know anybody that's a Rasta, they're gonna say Jah Rastafari. So Jah carries a very powerful name. Right, he carries a very powerful name, and yes, he's great at basketball, right? But greatness is transcendent. Just because he's great at basketball, right, doesn't mean that he wasn't meant to be great at other things, right? He may be a great minister. He may have been a great spiritual leader. He may be someone who's in tune with the emotions of other people, but without the proper training, it's hard to separate yourself from the people that you have empathy for. Right. And you begin to identify. So he gets this blessing, and then all of a sudden he's wrapping the whole trying to bring everybody with him. He's trying to bring everybody with him and show a loyalty. You know what I'm saying? That's defying logic. It's defying logic. But he's Jah. He's a Jah. So for him to walk away from those that he's there for may be unnatural for him. But the issue is that with an untrained mind, being untrained spiritually, not understanding how to handle this newfound position, this newfound fame, that sort of thing, right? That he's going to make decisions that puts everything in jeopardy, out of that survivor's guilt, out of that depression. Y'all, some of you have children, right? Black men, young black males, right? That may be experiencing a depression based on what their friends are going through. They may be experiencing a depression based on what's going on around them. It might not even be them. Like, man, you got everything going for yourself. Why do you keep hanging out with them? Why do you keep going over there? Why I can't keep you from going over there? What's going on? Why, when he got a problem, you got a problem? And we don't get that. You got stuff going on for you. Why do you have a problem when he has a problem? Jah, you got $200 million. Why are you still hanging around with them? Why even after they jeopardized your career with the red dot thing and all that, why are you still right there with them? Why can't you just kick them to the curb? And for you, that may be easy. For some people, that may be easy. But for others who have empathy, for others who feel linked, who honestly feel spiritually linked to the people close to them, it's difficult. It's not that easy. And I'm not making excuses, anything. That whole team over there needs to wise up. That whole group over there needs to wise up. He's not the only one that needs help. Everybody over there should wise up and circle the wagons. And I'm definitely not tripping about him having a firearm. That's his right. He can have a firearm. But what is his mind armed with? What is his mind armed with? And while we're getting these sound bites and getting these situations, focusing on some of the mistakes that he's making, what are his politics? Maybe he has some. What are his opinions? Maybe he has some. Because don't forget, in the NBA, not only do they not want him looking like a thug, they don't want him to look political either. They don't want him to look like he has an opinion either. Y'all understand what I'm saying? So there's probably more to this young man than what we see. And he's just representative of a mental issue that many of our young men, many of our young Black men and Black women are going through. And that's dealing with that survivor's guilt, especially with the brothers. I was just talking to a brother. Yeah, I met a young brother yesterday. He actually played basketball against Jah in high school out here in South Carolina. Young brother's 25 years old. Hold on right quick, y'all. Akia, you heard me over here. You just throwing me. I got a student in there just snacking and smacking. You know, he on break. Anyway, all right. I was with a young brother yesterday, met him, and he actually played ball against Jah. And he talked about how he's trying to go into cybersecurity. He's trying to go into the IT field. And he actually went to college. He spent some time in college. He's 25 years old now. He actually spent some time in college. Now he's trying to go to the IT field. Super intelligent young cat, man. Super intelligent young cat. You could tell he's a natural born leader. He was raised in the hood, raised in the streets, that sort of thing. And he's dealing with survivor's guilt. He's like, man, I be having 1 foot in and 1 foot out. I'm like, man, you gotta pull that foot out. You gotta focus. He was like, man, he say, OG, I'm gonna tell you, man, they pull you. You know, you get pulled in all these different directions, and you got friends that's going through it, homies that's dead and all that, and they going through their own stuff. And it's hard for me not to take that energy on. I'm trying to make wise decisions and for myself, and I'm making wise decisions, but I find myself going back. I find myself wanting to be around everybody. I feel bad when I'm not in my neighborhood. I feel like I'm abandoning something, because what a lot of people don't understand is even when you're growing up in the streets, you growing up in your mind as a young man on the block, you got a mission and you part of a team. You might call them gangs. You might say they're just a group of hoodlums and that sort of thing. But a lot of times, these are young people who are helping each other survive, helping each other eat. These are young people who are providing each other with a roof. These are young people who are providing each other with emotional support, whether it's healthy emotional support or not. They're providing each other with emotional support. And to think that money is just going to sever that bond, man, it's difficult. Now, I've seen money come in among them and cause division among them on the inside. Now, I've seen that. But when one hits that lottery, that 1 in a million lottery, like the NBA, when one hits that lottery that nobody else in the circle is going to hit, nobody, that puts that one in a curious position. See, the one that's selling dope and getting money, you're not by yourself. Somebody else in the circle can do that. Matter of fact, when that jealousy comes, you know, somebody will knock you off just to take your position. But when you hit one of them lotteries like the NFL, the NBA with a $200 million guaranteed contract, that puts you in a position that none of your friends, none of your family is in. It's a different kind of pressure. Jah Morant, just like other NBA players, and y'all best believe many NBA players, many NFL players have fumbled the bag. Many have fumbled the bag because of not being able to sever that connection or balance that connection. That's a battle that many of them go through. It's not as easy as it looks. And we want to make it sound easy. We want to make it sound simple, right? Right. And the Euros love it because you're dehumanizing yourself. You're oversimplifying the existence and the life and the pressures that Black men face. And we're just throwing the brother in the trash. Criminalize, dehumanize, throw in the trash, and even pray for his downfall. But there's a bigger issue at stake. A bigger mental health issue at stake that evidently $230 million don't cure. And it's not just affecting Jah Morant. Some of you got Black men in your family that messed up the CDL bag because they won't let go of the community. They messed up the associate's degree bag. Some just messed up a regular job. And some can't even stay on a regular job because they feel there's a mental obligation, this depression, this empathy, this feeling that I'm abandoning my people. I'm abandoning this group if I go this way. Some of y'all struggling with it yourself. I'm gonna keep it a stack though. I'm gonna be me regardless. I'm gonna be me. We clinging, we over clean to our identity, rather than allowing it to transform, allowing it to grow, allowing it to be fed. This is a psychological issue that goes beyond Jah Morant. And the fact that you see a young Black man risk $250 million, right? The fact that you see a young Black male risk that right before our eyes shows that this is a mental health issue and it goes beyond him. And I know a lot of us say, if I had $230 million, shoot, I mean, you have no idea what you would do if you had access to those type of resources. You just speculate. You have no idea what will be triggered if all of a sudden tomorrow you can go out and get whatever you want, because some of us don't even know what we want. And for some of us, what we want ain't even healthy. And that's what you have to realize. We want freedom. Many of us have no idea what freedom is. When they freed our ancestors from the plantation, it was a big celebration on a lot of plantations. But then everybody calmed down and realized they had never been free before in their life. And somebody finally asked the question, what do we do now? And when that question was asked, after all that jubilation, when that question was asked, what do we do now? In a lot of places, confusion set in because reality set in. What's waiting for me outside the gates of this plantation that I've never been outside as a free person before? Everybody out there don't want me to be free. Where are the traps? Where can I go? Where is the danger? Anybody here gonna give me a roadmap to freedom? Because on most plantations, that roadmap did not exist. And many left and had to make their own way. Many were killed. Many made it. And a lot of people, though, when they got to the gate and realized that freedom meant that ain't no protection for you out there, they turned right back around and tried to figure out a way to be a free slave. Figure out a way to be free, but be the same at the same time. So when you see our people and you say, oh, look at Jah, he trying to be a thug, maybe he trying to figure out a way to be free and be the same at the same time. And he's going to wake up one day and he's going to have to make a choice which one he want to be. But if he hasn't been trained to be the master of his own destiny, right? Then he gonna have to grow through this. Just like you had to grow through that black engineer who came from the hood, black software engineer that came from the hood, black journalist that came from the hood, black business owner that came from the hood, black nurse, black doctor, black lawyer that came from the hood. Just like you had to grow through it and you had to find that balance. He's gonna have to grow through it. He's gonna have to find that balance. Let's pray for him. Let's not throw him in the trash. Let's root for him. Let's root for him to transform, and let's root for the transformation of all those brothers that's around him. It's okay. Nobody gonna come get you because you rooting for a black man to succeed. Ain't nobody gonna come lynch you. Ain't nobody gonna call you stupid just because you rooting for them to succeed. Now they're gonna get if they cross that line, the consequences are gonna come. If they cross those lines, they say we don't control the outcome, but we can pray for a desired outcome. Jah, get it together. And you need the people around you to get it together too. We know y'all having a good time. We don't need to see that. And yeah, keep your firearms. Be responsible with them. Stack them. Everybody else doing it. Stack your mind. Read. Study. Take advantage of the money, then that the wealth that you have access to. Buy land. Take advantage of it all. Be a learned player, man. Meet Mahmoud Abdul Rauf. Sit down with him. Sit down with Kyrie. Sit down with some thought leaders that's in your community and really leverage your power. I guarantee you, they rather you be this than be that. I guarantee you, they rather you be this NBA young boyish young thug than to be a real thought leader amongst your generation, than to be an athlete that thinks, than to be an athlete that voices an opinion, an athlete that shows up for his community. I noticed the red, black, and green in your hat. I don't think it was just a fashion decision. So I pray for your continued growth. Y'all get out there and study and make something real out here for young people to cling to, right? And for something to help young people deal with the pain. Because a lot of our children are dealing with pain, emotional pain. And we should not let society dehumanize and criminalize our children's pain. All right. That being said, whether Jah turns it around or stays in the NBA or not, that really doesn't matter to me. I just want to see strong young brothers make strong, powerful, and positive decisions. And it's not too late for him. Don't throw him away. It's not too late for your son. It's not too late for your uncle. It's not too late for your nephew. But they have to make a decision. And they have to be willing to deal with the consequences of those decisions. But it's bigger than Jah Morant. Jah Rastafari. I'm out. Peace. All right.